Hello and welcome to our show, Let's Talk. Today we have a very important question for our discussion. Should all forms of plastic be recycled? To help us understand this topic, we have two wonderful guests with us. First, we have Leo. He's a university student who studies the environment, and he's very passionate about it. Leo thinks we should recycle all plastic. Welcome to the show, Leo. Next, we have Sarah. She's the manager of a recycling center, and she has a lot of experience. Sarah thinks the answer is not so simple. It's great to have you here, Sarah. They'll share their different ideas with us today, so let's begin.
Thank you for having me, Maria. I'm very happy to be here to talk about this. Plastic is a big problem for our world. Our beautiful oceans, rivers, and forests are full of plastic bags and bottles. This plastic doesn't go away. It stays in our environment for hundreds of years. Animals in the sea, like fish, whales, and turtles, eat the small pieces of plastic. They get very sick, and many of them die because of our trash. It's heartbreaking. This is a terrible situation, and we're responsible for it. We see sad pictures of it every day, but there is a solution. There's something we can do. The solution is recycling. Recycling is a simple action that every single person can do to help our planet. It's not difficult. We take our used plastic and we put it in a special bin for recycling. This old plastic can then be used to become new things, like jackets, shoes, or new bottles. This is much better than throwing it in the normal trash. If we throw plastic away, it goes into big holes in the ground called landfills, or it goes into the ocean. We must act now. We cannot wait for another day or another year. It's our job, our duty as people living on this earth, to help our planet get better. Some people say recycling is difficult or confusing. That's why we need a simple rule. The rule should be very clear. Recycle all plastic. Every type. Every single piece. This kind of rule is easy for all people to understand. There's no confusion. If we say you can recycle this plastic bottle but not that plastic cup, people get confused, and they might stop trying to recycle at all. A simple, strong rule makes everyone participate. It makes recycling a normal part of everyday life, like brushing your teeth. And if we all recycle everything, we send a very strong message to the big companies that make plastic. The message is, we care about our world. You must help us too. Make your products easier to recycle. Recycling every piece of plastic is the only way we can have a clean and safe future for our children and their children. It's our responsibility to leave them a healthy planet. Let's do it together.
Thank you, Maria, and thank you, Leo, for sharing your ideas. You speak with a lot of passion. I agree with you completely, Leo. Plastic pollution is a very serious problem for everyone. In my work at the recycling center, I see how big this challenge is every single day. However, I don't think that the best answer is to try to recycle all plastic. My experience in this job shows me that the situation is more complex than that. The truth is, some plastic is very difficult and expensive to recycle. For example, think about the very thin plastic bags you get from the supermarket, or the thin plastic film that covers some food. These types of soft, thin plastic can break our big recycling machines. They get caught around the moving parts of the machines, like hair in a brush, and everything stops. This causes big problems for our work. Also, we must remember that the recycling process itself uses energy and water. To recycle low-quality, dirty plastic, we sometimes use more energy and create more pollution than we save. Sometimes, it's actually better for the environment to burn this specific plastic to create energy in a special, clean power plant. This is a difficult idea for many people to accept, but it's true from a science perspective. I believe we need to think about a better plan. We need a smarter plan, not just a simple one. The most important and best step is to use less plastic in the first place. This is what we call reduce. If we don't buy things with a lot of plastic, then we don't need to worry about recycling it later. We can choose products with no plastic packaging. We can use our own shopping bags and coffee cups. Second, we need to tell companies that they should make products with plastic that's easy to recycle. Good examples are plastic drink bottles or hard plastic containers for food. These materials are very good for recycling. Companies should not use the difficult, low-quality plastics that cause problems for recycling centers. So my idea is not one simple rule for everyone. It's a smart plan with a few important steps. We need to focus our efforts on recycling the right things, not just everything. This way, we can help the environment in the best and most effective way possible.
Thank you both for those clear opening ideas. Now let's talk a little more about your points. Leo, I have a question for you first. Sarah says that recycling some plastics costs too much money and uses too much energy. What do you think about this problem of cost?
That's a good question, Maria. Yes, I understand that recycling can cost money, but I want to ask, what is the cost of a dirty planet? What is the cost of having sick animals and plastic in our water? That cost is much, much higher than the cost of recycling. We cannot measure it in money. Think about it like this. When we're sick, we go to the doctor and buy medicine. It costs money, but we pay because our health is important. Our Earth is sick right now. We need to pay the cost to make our planet healthy again. Maybe recycling some types of plastic is expensive today. I can accept that. But if we decide to do it, and we invest money in new and better technology, it'll become cheaper in the future. We can invent better machines and find new ways to recycle. We're smart, and we can solve these problems. This money is an investment in our future. It's not just a cost for today.
Sarah, Leo believes that we must recycle everything to protect our future, even if it's expensive right now. From your perspective, is the cost really more important than protecting the planet?
No, of course the planet is more important than money. I care about our planet very much. That's the reason why I chose to work in recycling. I want to help make things better. But we must be smart about how we help. Good intentions are not always enough. Wasting a lot of energy to recycle something that gives us very little good material back is not a smart way to help. In fact, it can sometimes be worse for the environment. It can create more pollution than it saves. For example, if we use a lot of electricity from a power plant that burns coal to recycle one small, dirty piece of plastic wrap, that is not a good trade for the environment. It doesn't really help our planet. It's much better to focus our limited energy and money on recycling the right things that give good results. Things like clean plastic bottles and hard containers. This process is efficient and gives us excellent material to make new products. It's about being effective and making a real positive change, not just being busy doing something that doesn't help.
That's a very interesting point about being effective. Let me go back to another idea that was mentioned. Leo, Sarah suggested earlier that the best idea is for all of us to use less plastic. She calls this reduce. Is that a better idea than trying to recycle everything?
Yes, using less plastic is a fantastic idea. I agree with Sarah 100% on that point. It's the number one thing we should all try to do. It's very, very important. But we also must be realistic. Our world already has a lot of plastic in it. What do we do with all the plastic that already exists in our homes and in landfills? We cannot just leave it there forever. We've made mountains of old plastic trash. We have a responsibility to manage it. Recycling is the best answer for the plastic we already have, and for the new plastic we still use every day. And I think a simple message like recycle all plastic also helps people remember to reduce their use. When you have to recycle every single piece of plastic you use, you start to think, wow, I use a lot of plastic. Maybe I should buy less. This simple rule encourages everyone to do the right thing, and it pushes companies to find recycling solutions for all types of their plastic products.
Sarah, let's talk about that idea of a simple rule. Leo says a simple rule is better for everyone to understand and follow. Is it too confusing to ask people to recycle only asterisk some types of plastics?
I don't think that people get confused so easily. I believe that people are smart and want to do the right thing. We can teach people the right way to recycle. Good education is the key to success. I think products in stores should have very clear labels. This is the responsibility of the companies that make them. For example, a green circle symbol that means you can recycle this, and maybe a red square symbol that means please put this in the normal trash. This is simple, clear, and honest. It tells people the truth about the product. When people try to recycle things that we cannot actually recycle, it causes very big problems at my recycling center. We have to spend a lot of time, money, and energy to separate the bad, non-recyclable things from the good, recyclable things. A simple rule that is wrong is not helpful. It actually makes our work much harder and less good for the environment. It's always better to do something correctly than to do everything incorrectly.
Thank you. As we finish, I want to say one last important thing. The problem of plastic pollution is huge. It's a true emergency for our planet and for all of us. In an emergency, we need a big and simple action that everyone can be a part of. Let's not focus too much on the small problems of recycling right now. Let's focus on the really big problem. There's plastic everywhere it should not be. We can solve the technology and cost problems later. We're smart, and we can find answers. But first, we must change our habits. We must start today to clean our home. I want to ask everyone who's watching, please think about the world you want for your children. Every piece of plastic you decide to put in the recycling bin is like a small vote for a clean and healthy future. Let's all vote together for a better world. Let's recycle everything.
I also want to say thank you. This has been a very good and important discussion. My final message today is that we need to use smart solutions, not just simple ones. Being passionate like Leo is good and important, but we also need to be practical to truly help the environment. So I want to give everyone 3 clear and simple actions you can start today. First, reduce. Think about what you buy. Buy things with less plastic. Always bring your own cup and your own shopping bag. Second, choose well. When you must buy something made of plastic, choose products with plastic that's easy to recycle, like clear bottles. Third, recycle right. Take a few minutes to learn what you can and cannot recycle in your town, and then do it correctly. These 3 smart steps, reduce, choose well, and recycle right, are the best way to make a real difference. Let's work together to solve the plastic problem in the most effective and intelligent way possible.
Thank you, Leo, and thank you, Sarah, for sharing your different and very interesting ideas with us. Today, we heard 2 different ways to think about the problem of plastic recycling. Leo believes we should recycle all plastic. He says this sends a clear message and is the right thing to do for our planet's future. Sarah believes we should be more strategic. We should focus on reducing our plastic use first, and then only recycling the materials where it's efficient. She says this is the way to be truly helpful to the environment. There is clearly a lot for all of us to think about. We hope this discussion helps you to think more about your own plastic use and how you can help make a difference. Thank you for watching Let's Talk. Good evening.